We begin with news on Boracay. The famous island may be closed for more than 6 months. Environment Chief Roy Simatu says in a statement they cannot follow the timetable due to added work of digging up illegal pipelines. Yesterday, Army trainees pulled out 28 of 43 pipelines discovered on the popular White Beach, most of which lead to the sea, carrying water with bacteria from human waste. Boracay Foundation, a group of business owners, insists the pipelines were installed to divert rainwater and are not connected to the sewer system. The foundation also hopes the rehabilitation will be finished earlier. In April, President Duterte ordered the closure of Boracay to tourists for rehabilitation. Netizens are reacting to the news on extending the Boracay closure. Some netizens support it. In Facebook, Jojo Mui says 6 months is really not enough to rehabilitate the island. Yosh Okam agrees. He says this will surely bring back Boracay's grandeur. At least now the government values the environment. But others say otherwise. On Twitter, Moon Del Valle says, "Naniwala naman kayo dyan sa 6 months na yan. Lumang-luma na yan. Hindi pa ba kayo sanay?" And Naldi De Leon says, hindi lang pala sa drug war nasisira ang pangako. More from the regions. Last night in Cotabato City, police killed 9 suspects in a drug raid. The 7 drug suspects who were killed reportedly engaged in a firefight with police, while the other 2 tried to stage a rescue but were shot dead. During the operations, police confiscated 8 sachets of suspected shabu and firearms. 3 other suspects were arrested. Moving on to news overseas, 2 Filipino nurses in Australia were killed in a car crash yesterday. The Foreign Affairs Department says Philippine Ambassador Minda Cruz in Canberra reported the victims were on their way to Melbourne when their car collided with another vehicle. 5 others were injured. The DFA vows to help the victims' families. The Foreign Affairs Department is checking if there were Filipinos hurt in the bombing in Ontario, Canada. 15 people were hurt when an improvised explosive device went off at an Indian restaurant Thursday night. Embassy officials are monitoring the incident in Ontario, where more than 40,000 Filipinos live. Police say there's no indication this is a terror attack or a hate crime, but they add they haven't ruled anything out. Here at home, if you haven't bought school supplies for your kids yet, better do it soon before classes resume. Also, make sure your budget is ready because prices have already gone up. Trisha Tarada checks out the prices in Divisoria.
Marisa Binyan travels all the way from Bulacan with her whole family to Divisoria to buy supplies for his son. They've been doing this since her children started school, but this year she noticed some changes in prices.
Kahit sa school supplies, mas mataas eh. Kasi syempre yung matitipid sana, may ano pa yun eh. Kunwari bumili ka ng 10 notebook, yung isa sana doon, ano mo na, tumaas, nabawas.
Bags, shoes, and uniforms are higher by 10 to 20 pesos, while pencils and notebooks are 1 peso higher.
Bawat items piso talaga. Talagang sinabi din sa binibila namin na tumaas talaga ng piso-piso. Hindi rin po namin alam kung bakit tumaas.
Ang pinipili din naman po nila mas mura talaga. Kaso mo, hindi natin maibigay ng mababa kung talaga nga mataas ng puhunan.
Still, they choose to shop in Divisoria, the go-to place for cheap finds.
Kaya bibili ka nga sa mall, ganun din naman yung kalidad. Dito makakatipid ka pa.
Pupunta ako sa may wholesale eh. Pinaglalaanan ko na po yung mga apo ko para hindi na po sila mahirap mabilan.
Bags are sold for as low as 150 pesos, Korean-inspired bags at 250 pesos, while backpacks are priced at 300 pesos. School shoes range from only 250 to 320 pesos. For the rainy days, try these waterproof shoes or boots also at low prices. Uniform polo and blouses cost much lower here, along with notebooks, pens, crayons, and bond paper. As parents prepare for the school opening in June, vendors advise shop as soon as possible and avoid last-minute shopping as it could get really crowded in Divisoria. Trisha Tarada, CNN Philippines.
The Trade Department tells CNN Philippines the peso's depreciation is affecting prices. Prices of notebooks and pad paper also increased due to higher prices in raw materials from China. A call to be brave and free. Advocates of HIV/AIDS awareness urge everyone to have themselves tested. Among those who did it, this year's Miss Universe Philippines, Catriona Gray. More from Makoy Popioko.
Jay Soliman has been counseling persons living with HIV and AIDS for over 2 years.
I have friends before kasi na nagkaroon ng HIV. Some of them namatay na. So, doon nag-start yung calling at saka yung advocacy for helping out patients, clients.
For Jay, what killed his friends was not just the virus or the disease, but also the stigma. The fear stopped them from seeking medical help. Jay is among the 900 volunteers of the organization Love Yourself, which has been offering free HIV/AIDS testing and treatment since 2011. And on Saturday, they staged a nationwide campaign, This Is Me, Brave and Free, a mass testing event in 10 HIV testing centers around the country. And here in Manila, among the first persons who got tested, Miss Universe Philippines 2018 Catriona Gray.
It's something I'm very passionate about because a few years back I did have a friend who passed away from HIV. So that's what really pulled me to the cause.
After her own HIV test, Catriona spent the entire day volunteering at the center. The health department reports there were 912 new HIV-positive individuals added to their registry in March 2018. More than half are 25 to 34 years old, while nearly a third of them are young people aged 15 to 24 at the time of testing. Since 2013, the registry has recorded some 40,000 HIV-positive individuals living in the Philippines. Health officials find the numbers alarming, which led them to heighten the campaign against HIV/AIDS, which all starts with getting tested.
Don't feel scared. I had my first test today, and it was a very, it wasn't a nervous experience. It was everyone was very friendly. I felt very welcomed in, and I felt safe.
But how is testing done?
This is the third-gen kit, HIV testing kit. So, ang kailangan lang dito is small amount of blood. Isang patak ng blood, just small amount. This is the pricker, the lancing device. So, ipiprick siya dito, and then pag may lumabas na blood, yung first blood kasi iwa-wipe muna, and then the second blood, ipapatak siya dito. And then, papatakan natin siya ng diluent, 2 to 3 drops of diluent. So, and then we'll wait for 15 to 20 minutes, and then may result na po tayo.
Love Yourself HIV Testing Clinic is open from Tuesdays to Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Sundays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. All HIV/AIDS testing and treatment are for free.
The month of May is known for festivals such as Flores de Mayo, but certain groups are holding their own Protest de Mayo to denounce President Duterte's blatant disregard for human rights. Rex Remitio joins us live from UP Diliman. Rex, what's happening there? How does this so-called Protesta de Mayo look like?
Well, this is not the usual lantern parade held here at UP Diliman, not even your usual colorful Flores de Mayo festival. This is the Protesta de Mayo Laban sa Tirania, a protest against what they call the worsening human rights situation in the country. The event features 5 ensembles that depict the people's struggles under the Duterte administration. First is the La Reina de la Verdad, which portrays the need to defend press freedom amid the killing of journalists and attacks on the press. They use newspapers to make the dress. Second is the La Reina de los Martires, which is about the plight of drug war victims and their struggle in seeking justice. The bodies of the Filipiniana dress is dotted with bullet holes and the skirt is painted with bloody red. It was worn by a sister of a victim of an alleged extrajudicial killing whose body was found wrapped in packaging tape September last year. We also have the La Reina Esperanza, which condemns the branding of peace advocates and activists as terrorists. Then there's the La Reina de la Paz, which illustrates the struggle of Mindanaoans, especially the Lumads and Moros, against the martial law. Last is the La Reina de la Justicia, which represents injustice and trump-up charges against political prisoners. Teenagers and children join the Reinas, and their ensembles feature arches bearing their calls to action. Now, they say that this is also their contribution to the hashtag Babayako, hashtag Lalaban Ako campaign against President Duterte's sexism and misogyny. May.
Rex, what's their reaction to President Duterte's threat to kill Communist Party founder Doma Sison if the peace talks would fail?
Well, Karapatan Secretary General Cristina